Good morning and thanks for joining us here on Caroline in the Morning Sunday. I'm Kaitlin Stansell, filling in for Bailey Hicks, who's feeling a little under the weather this morning. But first, what we want to get to is some news out of Bladen County. We're working to learn more information about a report of shots fired. Dispatch confirms law enforcement were investigating after a call reporting gunshots came in around midnight. Details very limited right now. Stay with us on air and online as we work to learn more information. And also out of Bladen County this morning, a man now behind bars after officials say he killed his girlfriend. Investigators charged this man, Kelvin McKeithen, with murder for allegedly killing Mary Council in Elizabethtown. Officials say Council was already dead when McKeithen dropped her off at the hospital. He then reportedly left the scene, but authorities found him later, get this, hiding underneath bed linens at his house in Clarkton. He was then arrested. McKeithen has been charged with murder, and right now he's in the Bladen County Jail with no bond. An autopsy will be performed early next week. Thanks, Aisha. An update now to a story we first told you about Saturday on Carolina in the Morning. Just days before the primary elections, a man is arrested for reportedly assaulting a candidate running for the new Hanover County Board of Commissioners. Now, Carolina in the Morning's Casey Cunningham talked to Derek Hickey. He says he was assaulted after confronting a man who was allegedly tearing up his signs. Well, the new movie Max Steel has been filming in Wilmington for a week now, and for the first time we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at the production. Carolina in the Morning's Ashley Kozakowski introduces us to the actors who are bringing the hero to life on the big screen. Now, the state's film incentive program is set to expire at the end of the year unless lawmakers decide to extend it. The General Assembly is expected to talk about this when they go back to work on May 14th. And as Ashley mentioned, there will be a rally for those that support keeping it. It starts at 5 on the Riverwalk at Market Street. And at that same time, just up the block at Market in Front, another group will be rallying against those tax credits. Well, speaking of local productions, the movie Sincere will be filming at Manna. It's a restaurant on Princess Street, downtown Wilmington. Now, the filming will include prop guns and gunfire noise. According to the permit, the production will be there until 9 o'clock tonight and will be filming there again tomorrow. Head over to meteorologist Aisha Scott for a look at some temperatures that I hear are going to be rising up into the 80s today. New this morning, the Justice Department is investigating drug cocktails used for state executions. This comes after a botched execution in Oklahoma that made headlines this week. The victim appeared to be in pain well after the time the lethal drugs were administered. Federal execution drugs have been under review since 2011, resulting in a moratorium on the practice for federal prisoners. States carried out 39 executions in 2013. And new information this morning in the nation's first case of a mysterious virus. Health officials in Indiana have hospitalized a man in this hospital you see here behind me. They say he's in good condition and improving each day from Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, or as it's called, MERS. That disease has sickened hundreds in the Middle East. The man hospitalized in Indiana fell ill after flying to the U.S. late last week from Saudi Arabia. And we've learned former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice will not deliver the commencement address at Rutgers University. Her planned appearance led to protests about her Iraq war record. And some lawmakers in New Jersey, students and faculty members spoke out against the invite. The university, however, stood by its decision. And in a statement, Rice says she decided to back out because her invitation became a distraction. Right now, there's no word on a replacement there. A reunion this weekend of Vietnam veterans. They met at the popular Richard's Coffee House in Mooresville, North Carolina. But what makes this story so special, we're talking about 80 women who served during Vietnam, and they spent several hours sharing war stories and catching up on life.
Because there was only about 1,280 of us enlisted women. The nurses were a different corps, and we've never really bonded. And we're finally getting together after all these years, and it's just spectacular.
Wow, what an awesome story there. And Richard's Coffee Shop, by the way, in downtown Mooresville is dedicated to the military. They have thousands of visitors from around the country every year. And from one coast to the other, a retired Marine from Camp Lejeune is headed west on horseback, hoping to help others who have served their country. And I talked to Matt Littrell this week. He says his journey will take about 6 to 8 months, riding through cities and towns like Surf City and Pender County. And along the way, he hopes to raise $7 million for wounded warriors.
Do it, buddy.
A bittersweet moment
Sit down in the saddle.
between father and son as Matt Littrell begins his journey across the country.
Yeah, boy.
And it started with a step in the Atlantic.
Let's go.
Littrell will travel by horseback on top of his Mustang named Crow. The team is trotting into Camp Pendleton on the West Coast. A journey that some call crazy, all to help wounded warriors.
Of course it's crazy. It should be. They deserve crazy. After everything they've done, they deserve crazy.
Matt believes this is just the kind of attention wounded warriors need to get support.
Some guy sitting there with a pistol on the table one night, and maybe he's gonna see this, and he's gonna say, if that son of a gun can ride across the country, I can see what tomorrow looks like. But that's the main goal, for them to know that we're still fighting for them.
A long trail home that can't be made alone. Now, he's working along with the Semper Fi Fund, and if you would like to donate, you can go to our website, wect.com, for information. And Littrell is also raising money and getting donations along the way from people that he meets. So go to our website and check that out. Well, let's head over to meteorologist Aisha Scott for a look at your forecast. But first, let's check in with Tyler Matheson for a look at the week ahead in the world of business. After all of the controversy surrounding former NBA Clippers owner Donald Sterling, we've now learned the Los Angeles franchise is getting a new leader. League officials have announced they are appointing a new CEO to oversee the team's day-to-day operations, and it's reportedly a move that Shelly Sterling, Donald's wife, and the team's co-owner now supports. Donald, if you're just now hearing about this story, has been banned from the league for life over a racist rant recorded and leaked last weekend. And it was California Chrome who pulled away from the pack and won the 140th Kentucky Derby this weekend at Churchill Downs, and that's who I had picked to win it. He was the 5-2 favorite going into the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, as it's known, and the finish made Cali Chrome's trainer the oldest winning Derby trainer in history. The next race in the run for the Triple Crown, is the Preakness on May 17th. And the excitement continues today at Quail Hollow Club. It's the last day of the Wells Fargo Championship. So far, Phil Mickelson has worked his way back in contention for another PGA title. He's within 2 shots of leader JB Holmes right now. Thousands of people will be watching today's tournament, and it's not only a big draw for golf fans, but it's leaving a huge impact on the Queen City. WBTV's Mark Davenport takes a closer look at this weekend's games. The Wells Fargo Championship will actually be coming to Wilmington's Eagle Point Golf Club for a one-time deal in 2017, so that's really exciting news for our area. And more exciting news are the temperatures today if you want to go out to the beach. Aisha Scott tells me it's a good day for that. Just make sure you take the sunscreen. Good morning, and it's a sunny and beautiful start here for your day in the Port City. And right now we're taking a live look at our traffic camera over the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. You can see not a cloud in the sky. And meteorologist Aisha Scott joins us now with a look at your forecast for some warm temperatures, or what some may consider hot temperatures.
Yes. To me, mid-80s is hot.
Definitely a great day for the beach, for sure.
Great.
New this morning, we're learning more about the sinking of a ferry in South Korea that left 300 people dead or missing. Now reports are saying that there are some serious safety gaps in how the government monitors those ships. Documents show the ferry, which sank, exceeded its cargo limit 246 trips in the past 13 months before it sank. And it may have been more overloaded than ever on its final journey that left hundreds dead. And there are hundreds of thousands of bullying victims across the country, and a new report says they may be bringing weapons to school. The study looked at surveys filled out by 15,000 U.S. high school students, and it shows 1 in 5 reported being bullied, defined as having been threatened, been in a fight or injured, or having their property stolen or damaged. Nearly 30% of these students say they brought a weapon to school in the past year. Scary numbers there. And new information this morning about a shooting that sent a child and teen to the hospital in Charlotte. Now 3 people are behind bars. Christopher Willis, Roberto Garcia, and Tevin Mayweather face a range of drug and weapons charges. The shootings happened at an apartment in North Charlotte Friday night. Police say it stemmed from an argument between teens. The 17-year-old and 6-year-old are expected to be okay. An update now to a story that made headlines this week. A vigil was held last night in memory of an 8-year-old boy in Virginia. Martin Cobb was reportedly killed as he tried to protect his 12-year-old sister from being raped. Police say a 16-year-old boy has been charged with murder and strangulation in this case. And police in Pennsylvania say 2 adults and 3 children were found inside this cabin you're going to see here in just a second. They are blaming toxic levels of carbon monoxide for those deaths. State police say a propane heater was found inside the cabin Saturday, along with Jacqueline Stackhouse, Nathan Reese, and 3 kids, a 3-year-old boy, a 4-year-old girl, and a 9-year-old girl. And while the investigation continues, officials say the deaths do not appear suspicious. A highway patrol trooper in Florida and a tow truck driver were killed Saturday as they responded to an accident. It happened Saturday afternoon on Interstate 75. Authorities say they were responding to a 2-car accident when a pickup truck plowed into those wrecked vehicles, killing the trooper and the tow truck driver. A pedestrian was also hurt and remains in critical condition this morning. Looking ahead, President Barack Obama will travel to Arkansas on Wednesday. He'll be visiting communities that were hit by a deadly tornado there. And you can see in this video, homes leveled, and emergency crews and responders are out there every day trying to sift through that damage. The president will meet with those families who are affected, along with first responders and recovery workers. The tornado killed 15 people and destroyed hundreds of homes as it cut an 80-mile path through the state. Faulkner County, one of the worst hit, has already been designated as a major disaster site, and experts are calling that twister a high-end EF4 with winds reaching up to 200 miles per hour. And speaking of tornadoes, take a look at this video. This is during a tornado and some images from after a tornado that ripped through part of Mississippi. You can see cars from a dealership in the city of Brandon were heavily damaged. The dozen or so people who were inside that building at the time of the storm had just enough time to run for cover before that tornado hit. Insane video coming out of that area
busted gas pipes, water pipes. The good thing is everybody was okay and nobody got hurt.
Now to another natural disaster on the other side of the world. Officials in Afghanistan have all but given up hope to find any survivors from a massive landslide, and it buried parts of a remote village in the northeast under 300 feet of mud. Officials estimate that as many as 2,700 people could be dead. Many more have been forced from their homes. Officials say the landslide was triggered by heavy rain, and now they're worried another section of the mountainside could collapse. And in Ukraine, forces continue to fight off pro-Russian separatists in control of several towns in the eastern part of that country. At least 42 people have died, but the government continues to press on with its biggest military operation so far to reclaim rebel-held territory there, a story that just continues to make headlines. Now let's head over to meteorologist Aisha Scott, who has a look at your forecast.
To this past week, we cannot complain. I mean, it's going to be warm and it's going to be quiet, which is good news. It makes our job easier. So
yes, just make sure you put the sunscreen on.
Definitely need the sunscreen.
Take the allergy pills you were mentioning.
Allergy pills, glasses, and I think a hat. And yeah, you'll be good.
But break out the shorts and tank tops. It's time for that.
Exactly. It is definitely time for it.
Okay, something you might want to check out after the break. Spider-Man fans, listen up. We're hearing from the stars in the superheroes' latest action-packed movie, what they say about filming in the sequel after the break. We have some fun trending stories to tell you about this morning, and I'm so excited, Aisha, you can join me for this.
I know. I love this segment, by the way.
Get out of the Weather Center for a second. Yeah. Okay, well, starting this off, I don't know if you've heard about the annual dinner for the White House correspondents. It happened last night. So fun times there. And it's a night known for black ties and biting humor. Journalists, celebrities, and politicians all get together and let their hair down. Comedian and actor Joel McHale, he's the star of NBC's Community. He was there for this year's featured entertainer, kind of the presenter per se. But President Barack Obama also had a few jokes of his own. So let's check out one of them.
Of course, we rolled out healthcare.gov. That could have gone better. In 2008, my slogan was, yes, we can. In 2013, my slogan was, Control, Alt, Delete.
I love that. He has such a great sense of humor.
He really does. That's what I love. They can kind of take a minute to relax and still have the politics in there and the journalism, but it's all about the fun too.
Exactly. I mean, a good way to lighten the moment a little bit.
Definitely. Takes that serious edge off for one
Exactly.
night. And this is probably one of my favorite stories in the morning. I got to show you this video. This is Summer Noland. So you see, she's dancing away, practicing her moves.
Going off.
And this is for an online dance-off competition for moms. But wait, watch right here. Boom. It all goes wrong when her baby girl walks into the dance floor. I wouldn't call this disturbing, but it's definitely funny. And the mom kind of booty bumps her daughter in the face. But the real question here.
That was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like.
So what you're wondering now, is that kid okay, right?
Yeah.
And Summer says she posted that her daughter didn't even cry. She just kind of laid there and was shocked for a second, like what just happened.
Oh my gosh, she didn't go down on that floor too easily. So.
No, but it's kind of a funny moment that maybe she can show her daughter when she gets
she's
older.
Exactly. This
Look,
is what
made
you
headlines
don't do.
one time. Okay, this next video is a moment that a graduate may never be able to live down. He passed all of his exams but failed when he came to completing a celebratory backflip during graduation.
Embarrassing himself.
Yes. So it appears that he lands face down on the floor, and I think he's fine, but his ego was probably killed after that. And
that's what happens when you do too much. You aren't supposed to do like extra stuff during graduation, right?
No,
there was a thing
you're
with the
holding
selfie.
up the line, first of all.
That's what happens when you try to do extra stuff.
Yeah.
And then you just end up hurting yourself.
But it's something that probably it's on the internet now, so it can't ever go away.
Exactly.
And his grandkids are probably going to be like,
what is
this, Grandpa?
Yeah, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Okay, I should check this out. It's a rarely seen fish called the goblin shark, and when we see an up-close picture here in a second, you're going to see why it's named that. Kind of scary looking.
I've seen this. I've read this story.
It's insane looking.
Yeah.
It was caught off the coast of Key West, and we have some video here to show you what it looks like when its mouth isn't hanging out. Watch this. It's so freaky. What?
It looks like
Isn't that crazy?
two animals.
Yeah, it's one. Their teeth are like kind of like on a flimsy piece of like skin, I guess. And I wanted to show you this just to kind of show you what the mouth looks like when it's not open. And scientists are calling this catch a huge discovery because it's only the second of its kind to ever be caught in the Gulf of Mexico. The fish was released back into the water. Good news there, it still lives.
That is crazy.
But with beach season coming up, that's not something you want to see coming out of the water.
And I actually read too, I think it was NOAA, they were saying that usually these type of fish, they live in very, very deep waters. So they were really surprised that, I mean, this even came anywhere close to someone catching it.
Yeah, and I read that they are usually found off the coast of Japan. So the Gulf of Mexico, that's a really big discovery.
Yeah, I think if you are heading to the beaches today, just be aware.
If you feel something, touch your foot and jump really fast.
Exactly. I don't know if I'm heading to the beaches anytime soon.
I know,
I think
right?
I'll give it a little bit of time.
Okay, speaking of fun things to see in the sea, take a look at this cute video. A scuba diver got up close and personal with these seals off the coast of the United Kingdom. Look, giving them a little belly rub there.
They're cute.
He looks like a little puppy, kind of.
He does look like a little puppy.
I love that little face, those little whiskers. Oh my gosh, that's a moment that not many people get to experience.
Yeah,
that
he's so
is
cute.
awesome. I mean, how many people can say, I gave a seal a belly rub?
A belly rub, I know.
I wonder what they feel like, like slippery or like fuzzy.
I don't know, but watching videos of seals, one thing I can say, I've never seen, like a bad video. Of a seal. It's always like really
cute.
good. Yeah, they're always cute, and they're always like people are always rubbing them and touching them and stuff. So I don't know. I've never seen like a bad video. So
except for those elephant seals. Have you ever seen those?
I have. Okay,
those are scary. Take
Never
that back
mind.
now.
Yeah, I take that back. I just thought about when you mentioned that. Yeah, I take that back now.
Those are really. I wouldn't want to give that one a belly rub.
No, not at all.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 also stars Paul Giamatti as one of Spider-Man's villains. So exciting movie coming to theaters, and we have some exciting temperatures coming to beaches here near Wilmington, and we're going to send it over to meteorologist Aisha Scott for a look at your forecast.
Yeah.
If you haven't had breakfast yet, this story here is going to make you hungry.
We were
I know you
talking
already
about
said.
this. Yeah, we were talking about this before or during the commercial break. So
Looking for a way to switch up that breakfast routine, listen up. There's a new food craze taking Chicago by storm. It's called the Whoa Nut. Basically, it's a waffle and a donut combined.
that looks so
Then
good.
it's deep fried, and then it's covered in sprinkles and glaze.
As long as I can have sprinkles and glaze, I want to try this.
I feel like literally one bite would be enough sugar for the entire day.
I mean, that just looks so good.
It doesn't help that we haven't had breakfast yet either.
I know,
So
it really doesn't.
it would probably taste like filet mignon, like, you know, when you haven't eaten all day and you have like one bite of
Exactly.
something.
Oh my gosh, that looks good.
All right, we need to get to the weather and stop talking about
I
breakfast.
can't focus now. Okay, let's go to the weather.